Hello, this is Dr. Brooke Goldner from Goodbye Lupus, and I want to help you today with overcoming more obstacles that can get between you and the recovery and health that you want. So I'm always extra inspired when I finish up a live meeting for my rapid recovery group. Today we spent 4 hours. We stay on the line with everyone until everyone who wants coaching can get it, to help them overcome all the obstacles and issues they're having so that they can get that rapid recovery that people get from our group. And one of the topics that I noticed multiple times in the group today that I thought, everybody out there could use some of this help, was about an issue that I see a lot. Actually, I see it every day, even when I'm doing wellness sessions, which is that a major problem that people have is that they're solving the wrong problems. And maybe that might sound a little odd, so I'm going to give you some examples. You might feel like you are working hard at solving your problems. You're taking action and you're thinking it out, you're searching. But if you're solving the wrong problem, you're not going to get anywhere. And it happens all the time. There's two major reasons it happens. The first is you just don't have the right perspective or ability or experience to know what the answer is. So a lot of times in our group that comes up where somebody might have a symptom or an issue and they will make the wrong assumption, which then leads to the wrong problem solving, right? So for example, if you have a pain in your back and you assume that it's your kidneys, you might panic, you might try to make a change in your diet or go make all these appointments or all these other things to look up your kidney. When in reality, it might have been that your back hurt because for the first time, because you were feeling so great, you went outside and did a whole bunch of gardening and you were hunched over and you pulled a muscle, right? Usually kidneys don't hurt unless they're infected. Most of the time, they're painless. But when you don't have the right experience and you jump to the wrong conclusion, you can then solve the wrong problem. So that's one way I see it. One way that was really interesting that I saw this week, I saw someone whose main complaint is that she gets hypoglycemic, meaning her blood sugars go very low. And so she's gone to the doctor. They put on a monitor that showed, sure enough, multiple times a day, her blood sugar would get very low. So the way she's been solving that problem is by making sure all day long she eats crackers and bread, other complex carbohydrates, to try to keep her sugar high. I spend a lot of time with people in my appointments. I don't think you can solve really complex problems in 10 to 15 minutes. I also believe that relationships are part of what heal people. And so I really form real relationships with people. I spend the time to hear their story and understand the full story of what their body's telling us rather than just a symptom off the top or just a lab test. So I listened to her whole story. I looked at all of her tests that she'd had done, and I realized she was solving the wrong problem. That looking at her blood tests, her HbA1c, which is a measurement of your average blood sugar over 3 months, showed that she is pre-diabetic. She does not have a low blood sugar problem. She has a high blood sugar problem. And I explained it to her in a way that helped her understand that if you tend to have high blood sugars, but you're insulin resistant, your body might respond by producing even higher levels of insulin, trying to overcome the insulin resistance. And then maybe you get to the point that the insulin gets so high that your blood sugar suddenly plummets and you think you have a low blood sugar problem. But the reality is you have insulin resistance and a high blood sugar problem. So I helped her design a nutrition plan that's actually going to defeat the real issue. So if you draw the wrong conclusions, and doctors can draw the wrong conclusions just because they don't have enough time or experience in that area, or you can draw the wrong conclusions based off of fear or, again, not having experience in what recovery looks like. And if you draw the wrong conclusion, you will solve the wrong problem and therefore you stay sick. The other reason that people will solve the wrong problems actually comes from emotional distress. So sometimes the problem that really needs to be solved is very scary for you. Maybe you have forgiveness work to do. Maybe you need to forgive yourself and you have guilt you need to deal with. Maybe you have anger you need to deal with. In my rapid recovery group, we work through different levels of emotional work. There's an emotional curriculum that goes at the same time as the nutrition curriculum. And so as people really embrace the thoughts and habits of happy, healthy people, their recovery gets faster and their moods get better, their anxiety goes away. It's a really important process. But sometimes people will notice an assignment I put that day and go, ooh, you know what? I don't want to do that assignment. Let me just do the next one. Or, you know what? I didn't complete the other one to my satisfaction. Let's do another one. And so they work on something that feels easier a problem they'd rather solve, and they avoid the one that's really the problem. So the way that came up in my group today is someone who's been eating off plan, and I asked her to work on this with me, that we could find the trigger and make a real game plan for the trigger. She has been doing emotional work, which we said she really needed to do the emotional work, but she's been working on other emotional assignments, and they're very important, or I wouldn't even have them in the program, very important assignments. But as I reminded her, in order for rapid recovery to work, you have to be on plan, which means the biggest, most important problem to solve is what's taking you off plan. All the other stuff, that comes next. We have to solve that problem. So thankfully, since she was live on the meeting today, we did the coaching, and I came up with a game plan with her that I think will solve that problem. Once I heard her triggers and her thoughts that led to off-plan eating, I was able to give her a game plan for what to do for those triggers and thoughts. And now she has a game plan that might solve that problem. So until that problem's solved, we're working on the wrong problem, right? So you might find that's coming up in your life, that maybe you want to do other emotional work that you find better. Maybe you prefer certain types of self-care or certain topics that feel better. A lot of times people prefer to do things they're good at, but what we really need to work on is the thing that's behind our biggest struggles. So I just wanted to bring that to you. This is part of the deep emotional work that I do with people. Thankfully, in my experience, both as a trauma specialist and a specialist in anxiety and depression, really bleeds into the work I do every day in helping people reverse their diseases, because the way you eat has a lot to do with your emotional, mental habits. And so most of the time we have to fix both of those to get you to stay on plan until you get the results in disease reversal that you really want. Anytime I have a great insight that I think you guys would appreciate, and I have the time to do it, I bring it to you as well. So I hope that helps you. And if you realize, oh my God, this resonates, I tend to solve the wrong problems, then get help. All right. Make sure you have the right kind of person by your side that can help you solve those problems correctly, whether it's a therapist over traumas and emotional distress, or whether it's doing a program like the one I have. In my rapid recovery group, we work together every day, so I can see what you do as well as hear from you. And I can oftentimes pick apart issues that you don't even realize are there, because I'm watching your behaviors and the way you think and respond to things, in addition to what you think is going on as well. And that really helps me help you better. It's a wonderful experience. So if that's something that you want to do, Rapid Recovery Group is awesome. We just had our week 5 meeting, and happy tears. That we always start with celebrations, and someone with MS who went up and down the stairs by himself. Normally, when he started the group, he could only stand with a walker. He's been able to stand at his mailbox, and now he's going up and down stairs by himself. Huge breakthrough. 5 weeks, right? Neuropathy's gone. Pain's gone, swelling's gone. Someone with scleroderma, all her ulcers are already gone. Considered impossible to treat otherwise through the medical treatments available. In our group, they usually go away very quickly. It's just incredible. And all these people are taking that action every day, working with us, getting their mindset right, their self-care right, and their nutrition right. And it's just amazing. It's why I still do this work every day, because it works. And it makes me so happy to be a part of people's healing. So if you want to participate in something that intensive with me looking at you every day, we do have another group starting July 22nd. They always sell out, and this one is filling up rapidly. Lately, they've been selling out at least a couple weeks before the start date. So if you want to get in on that, I do recommend you jump in now. But whether you work with me directly or you're working on your own plan based off my Goodbye Autoimmune Disease and Goodbye Lupus books, I hope that this helps you. I hope you're taking incredible actions towards your own health, your own happiness. You deserve it. All right, I will see you next time. I hope you have a great weekend.